All right, you guys, we are back. It's been a minute since I last recorded. It's been, I think, an hour and a half, or maybe even a little bit longer than that, maybe an hour 45. Anyways, I finished the first chapter. There's 18 chapters in the first section, so basically the way they do it is the real estate course required for Washington State is 90 hours long, and they divide the 90 hours up into two different sections. So the beginning section is 60 hours, and then the second section is only 30 hours. So within the 60-hour section that I'm in, there's 18 chapters. So I'm just gonna do like one or maybe two chapters a day, because I want to get it done as soon as possible. But yeah, I just finished the first chapter, which I'm assuming is like one of the shorter ones, but it was like an hour and a half, an hour 45. But anyways, we're one chapter closer, which is pretty good. So yeah, I'm gonna take a little break and do some chores. That's gonna be my break. I'm not just gonna sit on my phone or whatever, because again, I don't want to just be like a bum who's just not doing anything productive. But yeah, I'm gonna go and clean up the kitchen a little bit more, and then I'm also going to set some of my laundry and like go put it to wash. And then when I'm done, I'm going to actually probably take the dogs out too, because it's getting to that time where they're gonna have to go to the restroom. And then I'm gonna do some other studying. So I'm gonna do some theology, which is what Ascension is that I mentioned earlier, and then some Khan Academy, which is just like general education, and then Duolingo, which is like language arts and a bunch of other like hobbies. I'm gonna be starting them all like at the very like basic levels, like kindergarten level, and just work my way up, just because it's been a long time since I've been in school, and I was just brainstorming, and I was like, I feel like this is a really productive way that I could over time learn and grow a lot as a human being, is just to constantly be studying things. And so I'm gonna be taking it very easy and just work my way up so I can like remember all the fundamentals and things like that, and then go from there. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing all of those things, so I'll be sure to keep you guys posted. But yeah, here we go. All right, y'all, I think I'm finally hitting like the wall, which is like when you don't sleep enough, you naturally start to like lose energy. And I think when you combine that with the fact that I'm just not conditioned yet to not being on my phone and actually like spending brain power reading stuff and not just like mindlessly scrolling on my phone, I'm like finally hitting this like wall where I'm just like, dude, I don't have energy to do anything else. Like this is where I always like start to, talk like that sort of way where I'm just like, well, maybe I'll just chill the rest of the day. Like, what's one YouTube video? And one turns into two, and two turns into 10. And then before I know it, I look up and it's midnight, and I'm like, frick. So I'm not going to, again, succumb to any of those temptations. But I just want to share that with you guys. I have been sitting here for like 10 minutes trying to start my other studies, and I'm just like, I don't feel like doing anything anymore. like I'm just tired. But again, if it's difficult, it's probably a good thing. So I'm going to just embrace that and be like, hey man, look, if it was easy, everyone would do it. If it was fun and comfortable, everyone would do it. It's not. So just embrace it and keep going. Keep at it. So that's what I've been telling myself. So I only have like 2 more hours to go before I can finally just call it a day. So it's the final push. It's just like going to a race, Near the end of the race, you start cramping. You start asking yourself, why am I doing this in the first place? You start contemplating life. But when you get through that final stretch, how rewarding is that, And so that's kind of what I'm telling myself now too, is like, look, I'm tired mentally. I want to just like chill and not think. But it's not that time yet. So let's keep grinding. Come on now. Sometimes cats do weird things, right? Sometimes they be doing weird things. Buddy is getting comfortable into the flower pot. Orange cat behavior. Let me tell you, orange cat behavior. All right, y'all, we're back. Just wanted to show you guys. He is slumped. His name's Honey. He is out. He's trying to make that plant go out too. He's let me suffocate you. Anyways, so just finished up my theology class. It was actually pretty good. It was mainly just talking like how the Bible is just very transformative, and it honestly was convicting me because, like I said before, I like haven't prayed my rosary in so long, And to be honest, I haven't prayed my Bible. I haven't prayed my Bible. I haven't read my Bible in so long. So it was a good reminder of just like, as they're introducing just like the Bible before we just jump straight to it. It was a great introduction episode for me because I too was like, yeah, I should be studying scripture more, just theology in general, but even just like starting out with like some really good Bible study. That'd be really good for me, and it'd be good to just remind me of like the expectation God has for me and things like that. You know, the more I read the Bible, the better I treat other people is what I've noticed. So I'm excited to get back to it. We're going to be studying some math now, some kindergarten math, which I think will be super easy for me. But again, it's just a good way for me to review everything from the very beginning. So I'm going to get to that, and yeah, I'll keep y'all posted. All right, y'all. As expected, kindergarten math was very easy. I'm not done with kindergarten math, but I got a good amount done. I got the first unit done, so on to Duolingo now, some intermediate English. Should be good. I'm like really trying hard not to fall asleep, but I'm getting pretty tired. Alrighty, that's right. English has been done, so we are gonna go ahead now and knock out as much more real estate coursework as we can do in the next 45 minutes, and then we'll be done. I'm very tired, but I'm just gonna get through this. Then I can take the rest of my evening off, call my girlfriend, and just chill on the phone with her until I go to bed. So let's get through this. I was also going to say a couple things. First of all, I may end up staying up a little bit later tonight just because since I slept in on accident this morning, I don't see how my body's going to be able to just like fall back asleep at like 8 p.m. I think if I fall back asleep at 8 p.m., which I could do with how tired I am, I'll probably wake up at like 11 and my body will think like, oh, you just took a nap. Now you're wide awake all night and you're kind of screwed for the next day. So I may just try to stay up a little bit more. If that's the case, I might like order a pizza or something and just chill. But we'll figure that out. It's not that important. It doesn't affect anything for you guys because I'd still be up at the same time tomorrow. It would just help me get into that sleep cycle. So we'll see. Second thing I was going to say is I was like thinking about this earlier and I wanted just to like say it as like an encouragement for you guys and for myself. There are moments here like where I'll take like a 10-minute break because I'm really just like, I'm bored. And I'm like, let me just chill for a second. Okay, now let me get back to work. And so what I have to remind myself is like, I shouldn't feel bad if I have to do that because it's similar to like running a marathon. You'll more likely than not slow down near the end. And although obviously ideally it'd be good for you to never slow down, it's always better for you to slow down than to not finish the event, correct? And so same thing here. Ideally, it'd be nice for me to get into a rhythm where I don't even have to take breaks because I'm just so conditioned. But until then, it's better for me to just slow down and take breaks and still be consistent than for me to just give up and not even study for the rest of the day. So I thought that was like a good like analogy and example there. So all right, Roy T, I'm going to get back to it now. All right, y'all. We have done it. It is 6 o'clock. It is time for me to start getting ready to just chill. We didn't get through the whole section of chapter 2 for real estate just because, like I said, these sections are pretty long. We're like 40 minutes in and we're like halfway done. So it's going to be another one of those longer chapters, I think, but we'll definitely get through it tomorrow. I'm thinking I have to work tomorrow at the golf course. I think I mentioned that earlier today. I'm trying to remember because like I've actually been productive today and I've actually gotten stuff done, which is awesome. But yes, I work at that golf course over there. So I'm opening tomorrow, but I should be able to get this chapter done before I even go to work tomorrow, which would just be really nice. And then I can go to work afterwards and then go on my 4-mile run after that. So it'll be exciting. But yes, thanks again, everyone, for tuning in for today. This has been basically my first day, but I'm pretty proud of what I've been able to accomplish. And I want to thank everyone who's tuned in, whether you're on YouTube Shorts or on the podcast or on my video or wherever the heck you're seeing this, whenever you're seeing this. And yeah, my little rant for the day. I just found out about the Spider-Man trailer for a brand new day, like just like the teaser trailer. And I gotta tell you, man, I don't want to like offend anyone, and I don't think I would by saying this, but it's kind of like it's not no surprise. It's no like, I don't think it's news for anyone to notice that like a lot of Disney in general has gone pretty like liberal and pretty woke over the last 5-10 years. And of course, everyone can have their own thoughts on that. I don't know if that's a good thing or if that's a bad thing. There's two kind of side things I have to say about that. The first thing is people are pretty biased, and so people in general who are like conservative will immediately like hate that, and people who are liberal um, will typically just immediately love that. And I think, the more bigger question there is like, is this a good sort of message to have, in film that's usually targeted towards kids? Unfortunately, people don't think about it that way or look at it that way. They just are like, well, I agree with that, so I immediately like it. And it's like, well, that's not really the question that's being asked here. But more specifically with Marvel, I'm kind of glad that they're kind of stepping away from that direction, because of course they had to do a whole rebrand because Kang is no longer like the face of he's not like the villain who they're going to face anymore. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, sorry, you can just skip this part. But anyways, the point I'm trying to get with all this is like, I know they had to do a whole rebrand, and I know that they're also shifting a lot of their messages away from like political ideology stuff. And I'm very glad, because like looking at this trailer, so many people are saying how like they're just so excited to watch this movie. And part of it definitely is just because like it's Spider-Man, who's like one of the most popular Marvel characters, if not the most popular. And so like, of course, people are going to be hyped for it. But I think another reason why is the directors have also taken some time to like not push out so many films in one year and really take their time with good writing, which I think, again, that's also going to be a great thing that's going to make the movie better. And I think the third reason that's going to be really good, and the reason why people are really excited, is because there's no more political message. So again, it doesn't really matter if you agree with it or not. I think objectively, people on both sides of the political aisle agree that there shouldn't really be political messaging or like agenda-based messages in movies. Movies should just be entertaining, and they shouldn't be trying to propagate any sort of idea, whether it's good or bad. They shouldn't be propagating those ideas. So it is nice, because I have a lot of friends of mine who are telling me like, this seems like it's just like an old school Marvel movie where it's just going to be super entertaining. It's going to make you feel like a 10-year-old again, and you're not going to feel like you're being told a message throughout the entire movie, which is nice, because like I said, it goes both ways. I've seen movies that have like a pretty conservative message like underlying the movie, and it's kind of that same thing where it's like, if it's like one or two movies, like I don't mind, but when it's like an entire industry that's all being driven towards a certain like ideology, I don't like that, whether it's conservative or liberal. I believe movies should just be entertaining, and you should leave all of that stuff to the side. It's the same reason why like I mainly like music that like targets people vastly, no matter what background they come from. I don't really like music that is supposed to only be made for a certain group of people. I like music that's made for everyone, kind of like that all-inclusive sort of music. And it's kind of that same thing with movies, where it's like I like movies that have that like all-inclusive message, where it's like there's no political underlying factor here. There's no like, hidden like social agenda message. It's just an entertaining movie, and that's what it should be. So I'm glad that they're focusing more on that and like stepping away from like social cultural wars. Because again, regardless of what your opinion is on that, I know people from both aisles who agree that movies and songs and all of those things, they shouldn't even try to participate in that. Because if anything, the movies and songs should be helping us. It should be a good distraction / like break from all of that stuff, instead of going to the movies after you've been hearing everyone on social media argue about politics, just to go to a movie that also has like a political statement. And you're just like, bro, can I just like not like be in that? And of course, there's also people who don't care about that stuff, and so they go to the movies and they're like, bro, why am I being preached about a certain message, whether it's left or right? Like, I don't care. I just want to watch a movie like and be entertained. Also, throughout this whole rant, this guy is still sleeping. Look at him. But also, in case you guys didn't know, I believe cats are like not like nocturnal, but their circadian rhythm is meant to be more accustomed to the night, because again, it's just like in their instincts to go out and hunt, and animals usually come out at night. So that's when they do the majority of their hunting. So it's also no surprise that a lot of my cats, like Honey, who's very obviously showing it here, is sleeping a lot right now, because it's why he's able to be wide awake all night. And because sometimes like the cats will be gone all day, and I'll see them come back home at like 7 a.m. And I'm like, dude, you're getting home at 7, like. So while everyone's been sleeping, you've been out, just like out in the darkness. So anyways, it's kind of funny seeing him all asleep, because I know once it's like sunset, he's gonna wake up and be wide awake for the entire night. So it is pretty funny. But yeah, anyways, I just wanted to rant about that for a second about the Spider-Man movie, because I'm like, I saw the trailer and I was like, dude, I gotta tell you, man, like this looks pretty good. And I feel like it is like an old school movie where it's like there's no hidden messaging in it. It's just gonna be a really entertaining movie that's gonna make me scream like a 10-year-old and be like, oh my gosh, this is so sick. And it's gonna be a great way just to like bring people together and just appreciate Marvel as a whole. So I'm very, very excited about that. But yeah, all right, guys. I am going to let y'all go. Thank you again for tuning in. I will probably post this tomorrow morning before I start studying or anything like that. But yeah, it's been a great first day. It was pretty difficult. It's pretty tough, but I gotta tell you, like, I got through it. I survived. I didn't die. I can certainly do this again tomorrow. And just always shoot for excellence and always continue to strive, because there's always more that you can achieve. So it was good, man. I feel really proud of myself, and I'm ready to just chill now. So yeah, I'm going to chill, eat some food, brush my teeth, and go to bed. So y'all take it easy. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm just doing this now. Peace.